Alright, in today's video we're going to be checking out the Luke Skywalker RGB lightsaber from Saber Customs to find out if the Force is truly strong with this one. So I picked up this lightsaber because I wanted to check out an RGB lightsaber. All the other lightsabers I've reviewed on the channel thus far have been NeoPixel, and honestly, I just wanted a Luke Skywalker lightsaber. I mean, I've got an Anakin, I got an Ahsoka, I got a Darth Maul, I've got an Obi-Wan Kenobi. Definitely need to round it out, so I got the classic Luke Skywalker lightsaber, and I gotta say, they absolutely did a phenomenal job as far as authenticity to the actual film lightsaber. It's got a nice shiny chrome metallic finish. We even got the red and green arrows there on the side. One detail that I noticed is slightly different than it is on this lightsaber versus the film lightsaber is typically there's a little gold trim that goes along the sides here on this front plate button. Not present here on this lightsaber, so it's all kind of that chrome metallic finish. Doesn't have the gold trim around there, but other than that, it's pretty spot on. It feels good. All aluminum construction, nice, sturdy, doesn't rattle, isn't super loose. One thing I will say is loose is this little button front plate right here. It does slide up and down rather easy. Not a big fan of that. I know I could fix that with just a dab of glue or, you know, put something else there, but it really needs to have some sort of kind of top and bottom plate cap there to prevent this from sliding up and down. That'd be my only critique as far as just the feel, the look, and just the overall experience of the lightsaber hilt itself. It does have that included belt loop accessory there, so you can throw it there on your belt loop, be a Jedi for Halloween or just cosplay purposes, which is really nice. This does have the RGB blade and not a NeoPixel blade, so if you're not familiar with the nomenclature between those, basically RGB is kind of like essentially a very large flashlight, so we got LEDs emitting throughout the tube of the blade. The blade is a little bit longer than your standard NeoPixel one and slightly wider as far as diameter. Brightness, it's going to be very bright, but it's still not going to be quite as bright as the NeoPixel ones, because the NeoPixel blades have individual RGB lights within the tube itself, whereas this is just completely lit from the bottom of the hilt. Packaging wise, this came in a pretty non-descriptive box. I mean, it just has generic lightsaber graphics on it, nothing really overtly impressive. There was foam padding inside, but overall not the best packaging. As far as accessories, come with a little new and improved Allen wrench key, which is nice. A lot of the lightsabers I got is just the most bare bones Allen key. This is easier to hold and much larger, so it's easier on my man hands. Installing the blades very simply, just slide it in as far as you can and Allen wrench down the screws around the top of the hilt itself. The hilt, if you don't have the blade installed, you put that in there for display purposes and just to keep everything outside the emitters, from keeping them safe and not having grime and crud on them. Also has spare accessory kit, so you get a standard little Allen wrench key there, as well as some extra screws in case you lose the ones that are already inside the hilt. Has a USB-C charging cable because this does come with a built-in battery that is charged inside the hilt. You're basically just going to unscrew everything here. You have access to the battery there at the bottom, which is nice. And then lastly, they also had an acrylic stand that you could put your lightsaber on. One of the coolest features about this that I was most excited about is this has app control on your phone. So you can control it via gesture controls and standard on button controllers on the hilt there. But honestly, that gets a little bit confusing for a lot of people, and especially between sabers, they all kind of control differently because some have one button, some have two buttons. And the buttons are always somewhere different based on the design of the hilt. So we're going to control this on the app and see how good that is. Alright, so I've paired and connected via Bluetooth the lightsaber to the application. It's actually pretty straightforward and very easy to use. Basically, I can control everything on the lightsaber via the app, which is very handy and much more convenient than trying to memorize certain gestures and controls. So I can power it on by hitting the power button. Very easy to do. Again, power it off. I can adjust the volume. So right now I've got it lowered down to 24.
Volume level 100%.
All the way up, and you can hear that robotic feedback.
Mute.
You can mute it.
Volume level 44%.
There we go. We can go through the fonts. This one's got 16 because this is the RGB and not a, you know, upgraded NeoPixel that has even more expanded fonts, but we can go through them.
The Dark Empress. The Protector. Wanderer.
You'll get little
Protector.
audio cues, so we'll go ahead and select that one. So we can mess with light effects, we can change the lightsaber color. So if I just wanted to scroll through infinite colors, I can do that. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Infinite color.
Color change.
So now the lightsaber is subtly going to go through the different colors, and whatever one I want to select, I can push the hilt.
Color selected.
And it stays there, which is really cool. Or if I don't like that, I can do a quick color select.
Color change.
Much quicker, less subtle, so the previous one
Disconnected.
would scroll through. And that is one detail that I was going to mention immediately, is that the Bluetooth connectivity on this is very, very spotty. In fact, anytime I get the phone probably more than a foot away.
App connected. App disconnected.
It disconnects. So that is a major downside as far as I'm concerned. Like, I was super excited to check out the Bluetooth connectivity and use this app, and it works well when it's connected, but like I said, when it works well. So let's go ahead and power it back up, and we'll go through some other options. So we can do the different Saber control, the lighting effects. So we can do a light. So we're locked up now. Maybe drag, do blaster deflections, flash on clash, some really cool force lighting effects. We also have music options down here, and then we can go back to the color palette and we can individually pick our own style of color by scrolling on the color wheel, which is super convenient. You can really dial in what kind of, you know, aesthetic you're going for. If you want something that's lighter than normal or darker, you definitely go that route. So, like I said, I love the app connectivity. I just wish it was a little more stable as far as its Bluetooth connection. But I gotta say, quality-wise, the lightsaber hilt itself, phenomenal. RGB, like I said, it is bright. It is not as bright as NeoPixel, but there's also pros and cons. So like, this is going to be better for dueling because there's less things that are going to break inside the lightsaber blade itself. So it doesn't have all those individual RGB LEDs in it, so you don't have to worry about breaking an expensive blade. This is just, you know, polycarbonate blade, no LEDs inside of it, so nothing extra to really break in there. And since this is so solid and sturdy as far as the hilt, you're not going to break the hilt either. Feels good in the hand, nice weight to it. Feel like I can definitely swing this around and, you know, do some lightsaber battling, dueling, and just overall lightsaber trickery pretty easily with this. This obviously fits a little better in the hand than a lot of the lightsaber designs from the Star Wars series. Some of them are really cool looking, like Darth Revan's, but it's also like the most impractical thing ever to hold in your hand. So definitely a big fan of this Luke Skywalker RGB lightsaber from Saber Customs. If you're interested in picking one up, I'll put a link down from where I got mine. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. Share this video with your friends if you found the information helpful. And as always, thanks for watching, guys. Really means a lot.